Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So it's Friday, so it's time to dive into the latest episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. My name is Charlie, by the way. Tonight I'm joined by Tamara and Ladasha. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, how
Hey,
you?
All right, how you guys doing?
good. How
Doing
are you?
good.
Good. So tonight we're gonna be talking about the latest episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5, the big episode before we get to the final one. And man, was this one big!
Yeah, it was super
Yeah, it
big.
was. It
All
was
right.
tough.
Yeah, so it opens up right when that last episode, previously on, and it opens up right when after Walker channeled his inner Wilson Fisk, and they almost decapitate the guy using the shield, and then start boasting like he's a hotshot. And the next thing, and right when we get started, he's running off like a little wuss,
Yeah.
crying, complaining. I'm like, God, I thought you were supposed to be a man. You were doing like, yeah, I'm Captain America. I just kill somebody. But you go run to a warehouse, and you're having like a lot of PTSD. I'm like, oh no, like you're regretting killing him. Yeah, well, you did that to yourself. You killed the guy, and then our real heroes show up. Bucky and Falcon, they show up, and they're like, give it up, give us the shield. You're done. Like I said, like they can go lenient on you. Just give us the shield. And Walker, being the prick that he is, like, no, I'm not giving it up. And that leads to a big fight scene between all three of them. And seeing him get beat was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
And his arm.
that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
I didn't like when he destroyed Falcon's gear. That was not cool. After he said, "I'm Captain America," like,
No,
what? Captain America wasn't a douche. And then the fight ensues, and then you see when Bucky breaks his arm. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that was great. That was satisfying.
That was, and I think just my disappointment was just that Winter Soldier did not go all in on him. You can tell he kind of held back.
Yeah.
And of course I liked it when he did finally grab the shield.
Yeah.
But he didn't go all in on him.
No.
No.
I guess it's probably because he remembered what he had to go through when he was in psychiatry, and that was one of the rules.
Never kill anybody.
Never kill anyone. So he was like, okay. I can break his arm.
Yeah, I can
yeah, now I was cool with that. I was cool with him breaking his arm, though.
Because didn't he say that in the first episode that he was going to break his arm?
Did
or
he
something
say
about that?
Was it that or the second episode? I forgot.
I do not remember. He probably did. But I really wanted him to kind of push that aside and just like lose it on this guy.
Yeah. But it was nice to like that they're building up all this time and the real good guys get the shield back because this poser did not deserve the shield.
No.
So, and then you see him just lying there like and everybody gets up, and then they go back to Falcon and Bucky are back with their Falcon's army buddy Torres, and Torres like, say you got the shield back. Like he's just like, oh, okay. Like, he kind of knew deep down he was gonna get the shield back anyway, but it's just and then the way Sam this like, well, man, what happened to your gear? And then Sam just leaves and he's like, do you want your gear back? Nah, keep it. Which is speculation because they're building up to like Torres is going to become the new Falcon. In the comics, it becomes Falcon 2 since he's going to be able to find a way to fix that gear. Since I think he was able to help Falcon fix or Sam fix his wing buddy before that got destroyed.
Yeah.
So like they're leading that in. So then you see Bucky and Sam kind of go their separate ways. You see Bucky in Sokovia, which Zemo, surprise, Zemo teased he was going to Sokovia anyway just to see the mural, and you see Bucky with a gun in his hand, like you feel like Bucky like is about to kill him.
I know. I was getting excited.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, here come the old Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But just to go back to the shield though, I really like the camera work where all the blood was still on that shield.
Yeah.
And it really caught your eye in the fight. It was like, wow, this is Steve's shield with
blood on it.
Blood all over it.
Yeah.
And John Walker has really gone psycho and lost his mind.
Yeah, the blood of the person who was a fan of Captain America.
Talk about irony.
Oh.
Talk about irony. The
Yeah.
girl, I grew up being a fan of Captain America, and what do you know?
Captain America kills you.
I know that. Yeah, it was
headed
still,
by the shield.
Yeah, it was still kind of, just kind of, it really caught my eye, just the way they filmed that blood.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the fight, you could always see the guy's blood on that shield.
I mean, it was really like there, like this is the first time in a movie that we see like in a Marvel any Marvel show that's in the MCU, not Daredevil and all that stuff. There's tons of blood in that. This blood, like full out bright red on that shield. That's like was like whoa.
Yeah,
and this is on Disney Plus too.
Yeah,
like, Disney Plus is like kids. But we need to have some blood. And I'm like, I guess they're trying to show their edgier side because we are getting Deadpool 3 in the MCU, and Deadpool will be R-rated. So I mean, I guess they're trying to start it, but and then like we'll see. But yeah, that was a pretty like this vivid, and you see Sam just wiping the blood off. Like, you know what, Sam, like Steve didn't want this.
No.
So
Tamara, what you thought of the fight though?
I thought the fight scene was pretty cool. It was kind of like Civil War, like Bucky with Captain America versus Iron Man. But the difference is that Bucky didn't break his arm. Didn't break Tony's arm. He broke John's arm. So he was like, I'm getting this damn shield back. Like it or not, give it to me. He's like,
and then I just love the threat. They said, you guys don't need to do this. And you see Bucky like,
I do.
Like, nothing was gonna change his face. Bucky was pissed.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But I still can't figure out. Well, I guess Bucky left because he was just disgusted by the situation, or
I think he had to do something. He was taking care of the Zemo situation because again, he's still under orders from the Wakandans, hence, and that's why when Bucky shot the gun, and Zemo was hoping the gun was going to be filled because Zemo wanted to die right then and there. But when Bucky like revealed all the bullet casings that were like out of the gun, and you see the Wakandans show up, and then take him to the raft. If anybody doesn't know what the raft is an underwater prison that showed up in I think it showed up in Jessica Jones, which I didn't see the last season of Jessica Jones.
I didn't see that either.
Really, that showed up in that one, but it was mainly in Civil War, where that's where Cap and his team, or Cap's team Cap, hence my poster in the background for Civil War. Anybody on Cap's side ended up in the raft until Steve came out and saved them all. So that's the prison where they're sending him to. And then he's like, I might need another favor from you guys. And then we don't know what that favor is until later on the episode. And then they go back to the US where we finally get to see the trial of Captain former Captain Douchebag.
Yeah, former.
The hearing, and you see the court marshals. Everybody's like, "You are hereby stripped of your you'll be lucky you're not getting court-martialed. You're stripped of your Captain America duties. You're not getting paid. You lost your job. You've been the best we can do is discharge you." And him be like, "Can I defend myself?" I'm like, "Sure, it's not going to matter anyway." But like, "Oh, I am Captain America." I'm like, "No, well, you were Captain America." That's and then he runs off. And he runs off he runs off in disgust and mad. And then his wife is there supporting him. Like, how can you support him? He just killed a man. It's all over the world. Before that, Torres.
Tamara, go ahead and because I think you had a point about that scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that was like the best defense that he had was that he was Captain America. And I'm like, is that all you have to say? You didn't say like, I did it because of my best friend's death.
Yeah.
I snapped because my best friend died. And I thought I was just looking for the person who killed my best friend. And nope, it's just, I am Captain America. I'm like, really? That's it?
To me, that showed that he was psychotic because that was your best defense was, I thought this guy had killed my friend.
Yeah.
And, even though that didn't happen, but I don't think he really knew that. So I thought maybe he would have said that, but
the person who killed his friend, I think it was probably like I know it was last episode, but it was kind of like an eye for an eye,
Yeah.
It's like, you killed my friend, I'm going to kill one of your people. So
yeah.
And he's going to say that he killed my friend, even though he didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just like, you just can't say I'm Captain America, because they're just going to look at you as like, no,
you were.
But that just showed that he was psychotic.
Yeah.
That he had really like lost his mind, and maybe that serum just made him go cuckoo.
Yeah.
Which is something he could have said too, is that the serum, I injected myself and I lost it. And I think that would have went down better than Captain America.
Yeah.
But, that whole scene just seemed like it was straight out of a comic book. Like, you could almost see the panels of the back and forth to me in my mind.
Yeah. The thing is like you were saying, that serum made him crazy. And they also probably took him down because he took the super soldier serum, and he went out he didn't tell them where he was going.
Exactly. So, he's in an known area, and he said he's going off the grid, and he killed me off the grid in international waters. Hence why Bucky and Sam kind of like, they're laying low, because they told him like, it's very, very, the GRU has already taken over, so the government's taken over. That's where they're like, lay low, and then until something's happening, then we'll get you guys. So, but yeah, just seeing him just go off like that, I'm like, oh, and like, and that, I'm like, dude, even if Johnny Cochran was there doing the Chewbacca defense, that's not going to help you.
No, it was no help.
No. There's no help there at all.
So he storms off. And his wife, like, is being all concerned in this. I'm like, come on, I see fake tears. Like, so they're sitting there, and they're talking about, like, what we're going to do. And then you hear this voice. You see this lady walking up. I'm like, okay, who is she? And then she starts talking, and then you see her face. So, anybody that didn't, like, had a hard time figuring out who it is, I have some details. So anyway, that is the actress that character is played by, 11 Golden Globe, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, or 11-time Emmy Award winner Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's now joining the MCU. So she
Elaine from Seinfeld.
So
that's the only thing I know her.
So more details on her as she goes up, and she's talking like, yeah, I know everything. Like the second option, like the second best decision you're doing is, of course, marrying your wife here. But the first option is answer my call. And then she's telling me, like, I know everything. Like, the Shield, it's not owned by the government. There's some legal gray area there. So she's like doing like fast talking, like you're trying to pick up and everything. So she's telling me like, so make sure you answer that call next time I call. And then irony is when they are like flipping the card over and like there's nothing on the card. I was like, well, are we getting into like a mutant like situation here, like in Deadpool of something, like when Deadpool was trying to get recruited? Here's my card, and there's nothing, like, not really anything on it. So, so she's got like, her character is her name is Val, but you're not allowed to say that. And you can keep it, you can say it in your head, but you can't say it in that. So some more details on her. So she is Contessa Valentina Allegro de Fontaine. She's a character with long history in the comics, dating back to Strange Tales in the late 1960s. So, Grace, her for only a matter of a few minutes, they said somebody reports that she's going to have a bigger role in the MCU moving forward. She was actually supposed to show up in the Black Widow film in that, but pandemic happened, so they figured, that. And then, so they said former Veep star has somehow managed to keep her lips sealed about her new role for the past few years. Even co-stars couldn't resist hinting at it in the 2019 Vanity Fair profile. So in the comics, she has close ties to many of the same characters. Appeared in the Captain America franchise, Clone Fury, Sharon Carter, S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra. She's a sleeper agent who has risen to the high ranks of S.H.I.E.L.D., becoming the leader of an elite group of female agents known as Femme Force. as well as one of many characters to take on the role of Madame Hydra.
Oh, well, that's
so she's Madame Hydra.
We'll see. We don't know.
I've never heard of that.
However, there's many.
Yeah. Well, this is my first time hearing about her, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, and so obviously it's a big deal if you get Julia Louis-Dreyfus to join this. So obviously they weren't lying that this was a pretty big get, because the fact that she's the jumping off point. So they said there's many other directions we could do with this. Since along future products, it's possible that she's been the power broker all along. Could be. But then they said as Sharon Carter's streak of mysterious one-minute appearances continues, it seems more likely that belongs to Carter at all. We'll get to that. I still don't believe that at all.
I think that's what the mystery is about the Elaine. Is because it's like, is she a villain, or is she an anti-hero? I think she's a power broker. I really couldn't figure out which one she was.
Yeah.
Which is going to be fun to unravel this, especially if she's getting ready to go through multiple movies or TV series in the MCU. So
obviously she's a villain. The fact she was talking to Walker, and Walker's a villain. So I think it's safe bet to say that Val. Oh wait, we were supposed to say in our head, whatever. Val. She's a villain. So some other things in the comics, she could become a villainous Nick Fury of sorts, kind of like being a recruitment and stuff. So in the comics, she apparently happens to be a romantic interest of Nick Fury in the comics. So anyway, could be assembling a team that could become the super group known as the Thunderbolts, with Walker as its first member. Whatever it is, we don't know. Like we'll find out. But
is that like the because I don't read the comments, but is this the group that's opposite Justice League? Similar to that.
Yeah, it's the opposite, because I think they're like the bad version.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, I think because John is bad, so.
Yeah, so then also they said, so she informs Walker essentially his decision to take the super soldier serum, which she knew about that. She knew about what he did to the guy. That he's you did the right decision in that. And then so she we don't know who Val really is, but the fact that she knew all this information regarding that he took the serum, that he had the shield, that there's a gray area with the shield. So obviously she knows a lot of stuff. So we'll hopefully find out in the next episode. I mean, you got one episode left, so of course we got to find out. But her appearing, that's the big, that's just huge. And I think that's a great get for the MCU to get. And that's star power right there. And I was hoping it was somebody else. And then when I found out, who is she? So I have to look it up at the episode. So she's that, and then you see Walker just what's going on, and then you see and then it goes back to Sam, and he's meeting up with Isaiah again, and you see Sam with the shield, him trying to essentially, I think he was trying to give the shield to Isaiah because he didn't really want it, and Isaiah's man, I don't want that shield in a sense.
Yeah, they went through a deep conversation about
that was
it.
Because it was really deep, because he was that shield was given to someone who has blonde hair and blue eyes. They didn't care about us, A
black man can't be Captain America.
Nor
should one be one. And that kept me into. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of a situation that's going on now, how people feel about the American flag. And I was telling my mom, I'm Sam. And the couple of people that I know are Isaiah, Sam deep down, he feels okay, Steve gave me this shield for a reason. And they're going to have a black Captain America. But Isaiah doesn't think so because of what he went through. So that part right there is deep. Because of what people went through is what people are going through now. Because a lot of people feel that flag is not for them. Isaiah felt that shield is not for him. So Yeah, that's how I feel.
And then Sam actually had a real relationship with Steve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isaiah didn't have a real relationship.
No.
He definitely not with Steve. And the things that he went through at the camp were horrendous.
Yeah.
And you can see why he's bitter, because that's horrible.
Yeah.
The experimenting they were doing on people, but
it's kind of like the Tuskegee experiment, what he went through, and it's like that's why a lot of people don't trust this stuff going on now.
Yeah, that's a lot of reason why people don't trust the vaccine and things like that. And it was timely for the times that we're in. You know,
I mean, it's a great show to come out in, like, and especially in this environment. Like, it hits on so many like stuff, and it's very powerful. And the way they're doing it is just great. Like, like I said, I think Marvel was like the MCU is probably this show. Probably the best opportunity to be able to like get their point across, and I think that's and you just feel like, and that's what Sam's been dealing with the whole time. That, like, should I take up the mantle? Am I worthy enough? Why did Steve give me this? And I'm glad he's like I kind of knew this was gonna happen. Like, he's finally come in the realization that I deserve that. Steve gave me the shield for a reason. I'm gonna hold on to the shield. I'm not gonna let anybody I'm not gonna trust anybody. I only trust myself with it, and that's what he needs to do. I mean, because that's what
because it's kind of like the shield keeps finding Sam.
And
he wants to give it to the government, give it to Isaiah, but they're not the ones who should have it. And and that's why I like that discussion with Isaiah, because that's a conversation that's happening in people's house. How do we handle these different situations, social situations, like, civil justice and, vaccine? It's just, and I like the fact that conversation kind of touched on a lot of
Yeah, because I had to write down what Sam said, but that's like later on in the episode, because that right there, I agree with Sam. But the thing is like, Steve didn't put Isaiah in jail.
No,
Steve didn't know him. It's like he didn't put you in jail. It's not Steve's fault,
No.
Yeah, because that's what in the conversation I was thinking. Did Steve put him in the camp? But he's just talking about Captain America. He's not talking about Steve.
No,
because Steve's not that type of guy. Walker is. Steve isn't, and that's why I think it just hits so close to Sam, because Sam's known Steve like a long time. Like, Steve, like, Sam would be his best friend.
Yeah.
Besides Bucky, but then this leads to that, like I said, I mean, that's why Bucky was having contemplation as soon as about giving up the shield. I'm like, am I like giving up the shield? What that is like? Was there something wrong with me? Was there something wrong that Steve not see that? And that's what made Bucky question himself. And that's and that's like the real, like, deep down, I'm like, and that's like the whole power of the shield. And that's why it only needs to be in better hands. And then so after the talk, Sam goes back to Louisiana to be with his sister to help with the ship, with the boat and stuff. And that's when Sam's like helping out and calling favors, and everybody's helping out. And then next thing I see Bucky show up. I'm like, hey. He just picks up the hand.
I know. It's like Bucky just rolled over there, like, oh, hey, like, I haven't been here.
Yeah, he picked up the heavy stuff. He's like, hey, how's it going, y'all? They just looked at him like,
and he's like, can you help me with that? And
then Sam was like, yeah, just go with it.
And then after he picks up the thing, he's like, here, got you something, got you a parting gift. And it's like, I got it from Wakanda. I'm like, it's not Sean just dropping like, oh yeah, hey, I've been in Wakanda, so here's a gift. I was just here last week. Like Bucky feels like he knows his way around Wakanda. Like, this is going on saying, which I thought was kind of funny. And then so everybody's like, okay, I'm like, what's in this box?
I I wonder if it was just me. I'm like, what's in there? I didn't.
I had a feeling it was a new suit. I had
Yeah,
a
new
new
suit.
suit. I mean, and then
Okay.
Falcon. And I think, like I said, I think Shuri had her way around with the suit. And I think, like I said, and then and so Falcon's gonna get a new suit. You know what it looks like. Well, we'll have to find out. Like, you have to find out the rest, like, why watching the rest of this episode.
Yeah, I was like really upset about that. How that happened.
So he gets this new box, and we're like, okay. And then you see them like working on the boat and all that stuff, and then and then Sam's like, why don't you use your metal arm? And then like Bucky's like, well, sometimes I just forget to use it. I am right-handed.
I know that was
and he's like he's fixing something this with his normal hand. Yeah. And then it's them bonding, the fixing the boat, and everybody's that. And then
no, we got to talk about him flirting with.
Oh, Sarah.
Flirting with Sam.
Well,
I know.
Yeah.
I said, go ahead, Sarah. Go to get some of that Winter Soldier love.
Yeah, I said, get that fever, girl.
Well, I thought it's funny because I remember from this conversation in Civil War when Bucky was chained up, and he goes, Buck, talk to me, Buck. And then Bucky goes to tell Steve, your mom was named Sarah. So I just remember that Steve's mom was named Sarah.
Oh yeah,
I forgot all about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So and I just thought that was kind of like I said, there's a lot of play on some of the minor Easter eggs from Civil War. I think it's like very fitting for this show. And then and then them working on the boat, and Bucky's like, I'm going to be out of town. I'll be leaving soon. So he's like, I'm going to just go crash in the hotel. And then Sam's like, dude, you can stay at that. Just don't hit on my sister.
Too late.
Yeah, too late.
And then and then Bucky wakes up with the Sam's the nephews playing with the shield, and Bucky's not mad when he said, "Hey," and the kids, "Crap, run!" But Bucky's
I know.
And he's there helping him again, not leaving yet.
But I love that the way they work together on the boat. I really love that because it shows them bonding over, that friction they had at the beginning and it really showed that Winter Soldier kind of forgave him for giving away the shield. Past this.
I mean, it was them bonding over the shield as well. Bucky's like, dude, I'm sorry. I know this wasn't your decision. You didn't choose to give the shield to Captain Douchebag or Rent-A-Cop or whatever. Well, we need to stop saying captain because he got that.
Yeah, no, he's
great value agent.
Yeah,
dollar store agent.
I know.
PD agent.
He's
whatever.
And Winter Soldier is like one of the world's best killers, and to see him on a boat, I was like,
he's like, I'm on a boat.
It's tripping me out.
Yeah, and then the heart to heart that and no, this was after so anyway. Then you see Bucky and Sam just work out their frustrations just by playing with the shield, which is like the moment we've been waiting for this whole show. Them with the shield, like them doing target practice, and you see them nonchalant just catching it. Like these were the two guys that could handle the shield, and then it's just and then the heart to heart that Bucky and Sam had all right, I need to have a man-to-man talk with you. And then talking about tell him you need to you have to stop doing stuff to make you feel better. You need to do stuff to make others, to help them in their pain. And he goes, just choose one. And I think we kind of know who the one person he's going to be.
Okay, we're going to have a discussion about that discussion. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because maybe I'm not as good as Sam. But I was thinking, no, Winter Soldier. I wouldn't be telling folks about how I killed their loved ones. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, we may skip that one. I don't see how that's gonna help anything. I don't see how that's gonna. I just take my nightmares before I go telling people because Winter Soldier was brutal, man.
Yeah,
very brutal.
I mean, he had no control over her. That's the problem. That's the big thing too. It wasn't Bucky doing it. It was somebody else. It's essentially he had his inner Hulk in him, and he can't control the Hulk. All right, so
Yes, he can.
John's
He
message to me.
he can control the whole. He can control it now, but I don't see how that's helping him to talk about it.
Yeah,
That'll give me more nightmares. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I mean, it was just, I think, and then Sam was just trying to help him out. But I mean, we'll see where this goes. But like he's practically already in New York. I think, like I said, I mean, so after the talk, and then you see Sam going back working on the boat, and hearing his sister say, "We're not selling the boat," which is what Sam wanted to hear all along, and then Sarah's telling him like, "Are you letting this guy like get to your head?" And like, you got to be you. And like she was pretty much the one that's talking to him like to keep the shield. So essentially, she was telling him to keep the shield.
Well, I love this discussion with the sister because he needed somebody close to him to bring him back to reality.
Yeah.
Because Isaiah's reality is so far out of norm for Sam. And the only person who could really push him back to center was his sister, who knows.
Because like she was saying about what happened to Isaiah back in the day is not what's going to happen to you. And then Sam, he was like, he said, yeah, because there's a reason for their sacrifice. And when he said that, I was like, bam.
Yes, exactly.
Because the thing is like our ancestors did not fight for a reason. You know, that flag means something. We're that flag.
Yes.
Like Sam is that shield. And that's what the thing is. And it's like you have some people who are like Isaiah that feels like that shield or that flag is not for them. And then you have to sit down and you be like, but why did they sacrifice themselves? Why did people cross that bridge, got killed? Why did Martin Luther King go to jail? Why did people got killed on the bus? Like, you got to understand there's a reason.
Yes, exactly. Because it's like Black people have served in the Civil War, in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, because they're Americans just like anybody else. And so for Sam, I was glad she pushed them back to reality to say, wait a minute, you're not Isaiah.
No.
And Isaiah's experience is not going to be and will never be yours.
Sam's got allies,
but
you
Sam's represent America too.
Yeah, because it's a new era. And the new era shows that a Black man can be Captain America.
Exactly.
So I'm like, get it, Sam.
I know. I'm like, yay.
So essentially, like, Sam's got allies. Sam's got War Machine on his side. Sam's got the Avengers on his side. Like, Sam's got friends. Like, Sam earned his way into the crew because he earned Steve's trust. He was there with Steve. So that's why Steve was like, dude, you've been with me essentially this whole way through, like, all the way. And like you're like I said, I mean, you're the best person to represent this shield, and that's why Steve gave him the shield, and that's why it's like him finally taking up the mantle. And then so like a little recap.
And that's what. I'm sorry, and that's why. And that's why I was. I kept getting a little frustrated with Sam, and I'm like, Sam, why do you keep giving away this shield? Steve knew what he was doing. He gave it to you because he knew you were the best person to take his place.
Yeah. Because if Steve can see it, why can't you?
Yeah.
Just because you have this old Black man who had super serum, who could have been the very first Captain America, doesn't mean you're going to have the same problems as him.
No.
Steve picked you for a reason.
Exactly. Exactly.
So a little recap. So we've been talking about that. We haven't talked about what's going on with Carly in the game. So Carly and the game are recuperating from what Rent-A-Cop did.
Rent-A-Cop.
Whatever cheap knockoff a U.S. agent is, or whatever. So she's revealing. So she's pissed, and so obviously she obviously is going back to like, oh, I don't trust Falcon days. So I'm like, yeah. Like and then everybody's like just looking at each other. So they're building up for something big. Like they're about to start a war. And like I said, and like they're not going to like stop us and all that stuff. And then So then we have the cool montage of Sam training with the shield, which I thought was like him doing his flips in the air and still catching the shield. Like, dude, he's gonna be awesome as Captain America.
Well, but I like the way he didn't catch the shield a couple times and almost knocked himself out.
Yes.
And
I was like,
he was gonna break a window. Yeah, I thought he was gonna break a window, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna break his hand or something. I was like, oh my God. And then one time I guess it didn't hit the tree right. It was funny.
Yeah, like I thought he was gonna break part of the house, and then I can hear Sarah yell, Sam, and then him racing the nephews, kind of like what Steve did from the Winter Soldier, is like on your left. I thought that was really cool. Yeah. And then after that, going back to Rent-A-Cop, he's going to like he's grieving with the with his buddy's parents, and the parents are all happy for him. Like dude, you got you they're happy and sad. Like, you got justice, even though like he's clearly lying through his teeth that guy was not the killer, and everybody's like he's doing it to make himself feel better. Except the sister didn't look like she was buying it though. No. Yeah,
she wasn't buying it at all.
No, she wasn't buying it. The killer was standing in that same room. He, great value got your person killed. Mm-hmm. He killed he killed your partner because he was so power stricken. Like, we're going off the grid. He was so power hungry that and then like they're trying to make us feel bad for him, but I don't feel sorry for the crap.
I don't feel sorry for him. And I wasn't surprised when I guess the mom asked him a question and he lied and said that, that guy had killed his buddy. I was like, oh well, he's back. He's totally psychotic now.
Yeah, it seems like he's going through that that PTSD where soldiers go through and stuff, and he's putting the blame on people. That's the serum that's making him go nuts, basically. Yes. So I wouldn't surprise.
The serum just exposing him for what he is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that he gets a divorce from his wife because she's too scared of him.
Well, I don't know. The wife's stupid enough to be with him. So I mean, like, you're truly buying this crap. Like, and the thing is, like, as what his buddy Battlestar says. The serum doesn't get it just enhances what you like what's already in your mind. Mm-hmm. Walker was already a douchebag to begin with. He was a power hungry sociopath that was just oh, I need to play with the glitz and the glamour. I need power, ego, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. All the serum did was just enhance it, and then we're finally seeing the character that he really we're just seeing it enhanced. He's always been a character, like, he's always been like, oh, I don't like people stealing the limelight from me. I need to one-up them. Yeah. It's like, dude, that wasn't Captain America. Stop saying, oh, I'm Captain America like you're Batman.
I mean, you can tell his ego just got so inflated by being Captain America, and now he's kind of demented now into thinking, okay, we're one and the same, which he isn't.
Yeah, he's like, I'm forever Captain America. I don't care what anybody says. I'm Captain America for life. I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not. No. And maybe a bootleg shield ain't gonna. Yeah, that's not.
No. And it's like, and then him walking and seeing the image of himself. I'm like, dude, I thought you'd be be boasting this. Like, yeah, there's pictures of me. Yeah, like, I'm powerful. I'm the man. I'm like, dude, you were nothing. Like, you're like, obviously you weren't that great of a military guy that got your people killed. And it's like, obviously, and then you keep saying, oh, I did everything the government told me. And like, did the government tell you to take the serum? No. Did the government tell you to go off the grid just to follow Sam and Bucky because they're clearly know more than you do? No. You went off on your own because you want the power, you want the glitz and the glamour, and like, you wanted that. But it's like, dude, your body's cashing checks that, like, your face is cashing checks that your body can't cash. I mean,
I think he's like a sociopath, and I think he always was one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but he could, you can kind of hide that in the military everything that's told to you. But he was a sociopath. And then once he got the Captain America gig and the super serum, his sociopathic ways just really came to
true colors showed.
Yeah.
And not red, white, and blue.
I mean, just nuts. And then on top, now you're a social pariah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I saw when that scene when he was looking at his poster. I'm like, he really now knows I am a social pariah.
Yeah. You're stripped of everything that the government gave you. The government, clearly the government made a mistake to begin with, giving it to you. And I'm like, so now they're repaying. They're like, oh, that. And then so just seeing him just sulk that, making us feel bad for him. I don't.
No.
You were given you weren't given the shield. You're handed to you from the government. So the government, really, like I said, I mean, they set you up for the failure, and that was nice to see him to get off his high horse a little bit. Then all of a sudden we get then all of a sudden this goes to this random we're going back to where Sharon Carter see all these priceless images of paintings and stuff, and they're calling up and talking in French, and the person that she called up was Batroc. If Batroc was the guy that Sam fought in the very first episode on the when he was the guy that Georges St. Pierre. He's the one that Chris Evans beat up in the second Captain America movie. So
which one?
So Batroc. So he was the guy that was that Falcon took on in the very first episode. He's the one that was trying to steal the serum or whatever. That Falcon was trying to stop. So Sharon Carter called him up offering I can double the pay or whatever. So, and with all this being said, everybody keeps speculating that the mysterious phone call she had. I'm like, Sharon Carter's the power broker. I'm not buying it.
Now I understand she's not.
I think it's common misconception here. What the misconception is essentially what the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes. All the evidence keeps pointing this way, but she's not, because like they said, she's not tough enough to be it. I think she's got other motives. I think in the head she's trying to help out Carly's gang to take down the GRC, because the GRC is what stripped her of her status, her government status, that from Civil War. So the common theme here is this all seems to be going back to Civil War. I don't think she is, because I mean, she's intentionally helping out. The reason is that she hated Walker, so obviously there's a reason she kept that. There could be a chance I'm 100% wrong on this, but I don't think I am. I don't think she's a power broker.
Well, I think she's connected. To me, it seems like somehow she may be connected to Fury or whatever Fury is doing. I'm still kind of in that camp.
Yeah, I don't think she's it. I think the real power broker. I think it's Wilson Fisk. And Wilson Daredevil. I think it's him.
Oh my God, she's Wilson Fisk.
I think it's him. I saw an article.
That Wilson Fisk and Daredevil. My heart broke when they canceled that one. I'm like, this is a good show, and I love the guy.
Marvel's got the rights back. Since the timeline of it, then Marvel got the rights back to it, because I think it was a certain amount of time since the cancellation until.
That's right.
So, and there's been speculation that Matt Murdock might be showing up in the new Spider-Man movie as maybe being the lawyer for Peter Parker. We'll see. I could, like I said, if somebody mentioned Wilson Fisk in an article, and that's a theory, I could see it.
I can see it.
Sharon, I think maybe the apartment that Sharon's in is not really hers. It might be Fisk's, because Fisk and Daredevil always had these priceless paintings, all this clothing, and then the area that's Sharon Carter's in seems to be the perfect area for Fisk. Again, I don't know. I'm this is speculation. I just don't think it's her, because Batroc has shown up, but Batroc has alternative motives. Instead of maybe not that, I think Batroc wants to kill the Falcon. He wants to get revenge on Falcon. So obviously, that's probably, I don't know if that's we don't know the full details of the deal, that Sharon did, but there's these 1 minute things. Everybody keeps speculating. Oh, it's Sharon Carter. And I'm like,
no.
Keep seeing. I'm like, yeah, we're having all these bits and pieces, but it hasn't been confirmed, and it just doesn't make sense that it's her.
I would love for it to be Wilson Fisk. I mean, seriously, he was one of my favorite villains, and I always wanted him to somehow jump into the movies because the guy who played him is awesome.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any of Daredevil episodes, but the part where they were in her apartment, she had men clothes. So it's like, how did she get all these men clothes?
Again,
it's a possibility, but that is his house. Like,
I mean, I could be wrong, but I think like I said, I think because Wilson Fisk is that brute force.
Yeah,
that's not really it, and she just doesn't really sit at her. I mean, like I said, I think she's got alternative motives. I think she's trying to maybe knock the GRU off their pedestal a little bit because they're kind of corrupt in a sense, and that's why I think she's helping Carly out because if she was the power broker, she wouldn't be texting Carly that the guy's the scientist is dead.
Yeah.
Because how did Carly know? Because I think Sharon texted her that because the power broker's been trying to go after Carly for the serum. It could be Batrock could be the power broker, and none of them know it.
Yeah,
because he was the one that was trying to get the serum from the get go.
But I like the Wilson Fisk part.
And also, they said it was more of a man. So
yeah, they kept saying it's a man, but everyone said, "Well, there could be speculation that they're using it as a ruse," but it just doesn't seem like that. And because I know Sam's the fact that if she was the power broker, why would she want to help Sam or Bucky?
Yeah,
I think there's a lot more at play here. What her real motives are, I just don't think it's her. At least I hope it's not her because that'd be kind of a huge blow. And your aunt would be very your aunt would be very mad at you.
Well, that's why Charlie, they need 10 episodes of this. Yeah. I mean, they have started a lot of strings, and I need them to sort of unpack it all.
Yeah.
How are they going to unpack all this in one more episode?
I don't know. That's probably what the movies are for, I guess. I don't know. We'll get more info, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just don't see her as the villain. Or as the power broker. I just don't see it. I mean, it's just.
I don't either.
It'd be a real blow if it is her. But
no, I don't see it. I don't think she's going to be the power broker, though.
No, I don't either. But like I said, I think that would be like I said. I was wrong about Torres, because I thought he was it because it seemed perfect. But like I said, Torres is gonna be Falcon too, which I think is gonna be pretty cool. Especially because I didn't even know there was another Falcon in the comics until I just read it up briefly. But that would be awesome if it's Wilson Fisk.
Yes,
that would be so awesome. We're finally getting Daredevil in the MCU, and it's
In fact, I may rewatch Daredevil because I really loved that series. It was everything plus some more.
I mean,
it's still on Netflix.
No,
it's not on Netflix.
I'm not sure. Might be on DVD. Might be on Blu-ray. I know they released the first 2 seasons at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but that show was great. After seeing the brief appearance by Carter. Then it goes back to, and then all of a sudden you're in this, they're in the park and you see Carly and the gang all there, talking with each other, and then you see Batrock show up, and that's when okay, and Batrock's he's like, I'm not here to help you guys out, and they're talking about so essentially we don't really know Batrock's true intentions besides killing Falcon. He, like I said, I think he could be like I said, I keep saying everybody's power broker, but he could be it. It's either, if it's not Fisk, it could be him. But and he's like, what are we doing in the park? And all of a sudden, Carly sends out a text, and we get a full John Wick style, everybody's answering their phones.
Yeah,
and how everybody's programmed in, and I was and you're wondering, why is everybody in New York? and then you find out that the GRU, which is their main target, is holding a conference.
Mm-hmm.
So they're about to vote on something. And then so that while that's going on, then you hear and then Torres was talking we see Sam watching TV, and Sam is speaking with his buddy Torres, and Torres mentioned something about how everything's spiking. How we had this overseas in New York, this immediate spike, and Sam thanks, man, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Daredevil is still on Netflix. All of the Marvel stuff is still on Netflix right now.
Okay, until they move it over to Disney.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to move it to Disney Plus, but Jessica Jones and all that is still on there. And the Punisher.
That's going to be kind of tough before the Punisher and Daredevil, because some of that stuff's pretty violent. That show's violent. Daredevil, you had Wilson Fisk decapitate a guy using a car door.
Oh yeah, it's rough, man. And then the first season of Luke Cage, what's his name? He was rough. Cottonmouth.
Yeah. Blade, the new Blade, Maurice Ali.
He was awesome. They shouldn't have killed him. They should have left him on. But
but if they didn't kill him, then he would never become Blade.
Welcome, John.
Yeah, that's right. Right, yeah. Hey, John.
What did I miss? Hey, how's it going, guys?
We're
all good.
We're good.
We're just wrapping up. So overall, John,
I know I'm a little late to the party. Hold on.
No, it's all good. Do you want to go ahead and let us know your thoughts of the show, the episode so far? We've been doing all the talking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then he'll be back.
Probably continue your hosting duties.
All right.
Okay.
All right, John, what do you think of the episode? We've been talking all this time and want to know what your thoughts are.
He said, hold on a second.
Okay.
All right, so back to the discussion.
Okay.
We're on. Oh, sorry, John.
Hold on again.
Oh, it's all good.
I had some connection problems. Give me 1 second.
No worries. We're not ending.
Go ahead.
All right, so Falcon, Sam just finishes watching TV, and then he's opening up the box, and we're like, are we he opens up and he's staring at it. I'm and a very long camera angles on the box. I'm like, let us see what this costume is.
I know.
And then
I was so mad.
And the way his face looks at the costume, I'm like, and they end the episode that way. I'm like, come on, I want to see what the costume. Because before we get to that, we got they're having the conference in the GRU, and they're about to get up and talk, and then the lights go out.
Yep.
And that's what ends it in the GRU. Oh.
Yep.
All right, John.
All right.
What did you think of the episode so far?
I loved it. The very first part of the action scene was one of my favorite openings for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier for this season. It was fire. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really liked how they got douchebag Captain America, how they were actually fighting against him and everything. I definitely loved that part and stuff like that. And you know what, though? You know how we were all talking about it? I know Tamara, we talked about it. I know LaDasha, we talked about this. All of us talked about this last week. Is the fact that, hey, Falcon doesn't need a super serum to actually fight him. Mm-hmm. But now I'm going on ahead and I'm saying, you know what they need to do? They need to go find that other group of super soldiers and kick his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way to overpower him. Bucky can only handle him at so much because we've seen some weaknesses from Bucky fighting him head on, even though he's older than he is and everything. But let's just face it, Bucky needs some backup. He can't do it all on his own and everything. And I feel like this other group is probably going to wind up wanting revenge. So what better way to get revenge to team up with Falcon and also Bucky, the two people who do not like him, to go ahead and face off against each other. That to me would be fantastic. An icing on the cake for me.
I would love that. I would love to see them, gang up against Walker. And that's what we were talking about, because I felt like Winter Soldier was holding back. He didn't go full Winter Soldier on him.
Yeah.
I guess because, like, again, he didn't want to because that was one of the rules, is not to kill anybody. And I know Bucky wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him so bad. But he's like, you know what? Since I can't kill you, I can kill your arm. Snap.
Exactly. I love that. I love the arm of the snap. And he's like, you know what? You're not going to go on ahead and remove the shield from you, so I'm going to remove the shield from you myself.
For you.
I know language here. I'm sorry, Chris Evans, but I'm going to break your fucking arm. That's basically what it's
saying. Chris Evans. What?
I know. I was like, good. Get that shield away
right? No, in other words, I'm sorry about my verbal language, but fuck.
Sorry, Captain America.
Better person.
Exactly.
But I definitely love the opening. The fight sequences was everything that we were wanting, from the tension built up that we got from the first introduction into Walker's character all the way up until this point. So I feel like they delivered on that aspect. I got pissed off when he ripped the wings off of Falcon. I'm like, I'm like, you mother. I know, and I was get this. I was actually watching this.
So wrong. Yeah.
You know what though? I was actually cussing at Walmart, and while I was at Walmart watching this, I was like, you motherfucker.
It's working out in the end, though. He's getting a new costume. He's getting a much improved costume from the Wakandans, from Shuri. So we're like I said, I think it's going to be a lot of blue and a lot of white, not so much red, because
my mind is actually turning when you mentioned the Wakandas, but also too, I want to actually think of this. I'm thinking that we might actually see the Wakandas and also maybe that other team come up and fight up against against him though too.
Yeah,
and also too, my theory is this: Wakanda is actually powered by the Power Stone.
Yep.
So therefore, they could probably get some technology to better armor or whatever for Bucky though too, to maybe have like a smaller version of the Hulkbuster just for him. With the some type of body armor to better protect him, because right now he has a leather jacket on, he tears that off, and that's it. He doesn't really have any.
In one of the promos, we see him ride a motorcycle and him jump from the motorcycle, because obviously the other superhumans are working with Carly, so I don't think they're right off the bat. I don't think they're going to be working with them, because they would attack.
Right.
Yeah, they're taking it on the GRU. And Walker's going to be attacking them. So there's going to be a lot of in play here, and it's all going to probably be in the streets of New York.
Right. This is going to be Rumble in the Bronx. This is going to be Rocky 5 going on. This is going to be a street fighting brawl. Yes. That's what it's going to be.
You know, this may be like the Hulk. I just saw the Hulk movie, not the bad one, the one with Edward Norton.
Yeah.
And I think it may be like this when he said, last time I was here, I broke New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think they may break New York. I can feel it coming.
Yet again, some buildings are going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
Yet again. Yeah. But not maybe on the sewer level or anything like that, but some type of building is going to get destroyed.
Yeah. But with Falcon's new suit by Wakanda, I think it's going to have a lot of capabilities in it, and hence and he's got the shield too. I mean, he's going to be using the shield. Do you like after that reveal by Sharon Carter, John? Do you think she's the power broker? I don't think she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to hear John's version of who he think the power broker is, because we just had a long discussion about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. My first instinct is yet again Pirates of the Caribbean type of level still, where she's playing both sides. She's probably going to end up. It's probably a trap to actually set up somebody to get captured and everything in this undercover ops kind of situation. But here's the thing: Sam's gonna be the one who ends up tracking it back to her and everything, and be like, "What the hell is going on?" And then she has to explain herself on what's going on. Now, once she doesn't start explaining herself or trying to make up some type of explanation as to why she's doing it, and it's actually coming out to be a villainous type of thing, then we can actually say, hey, look, this is who we're dealing with. But for now, she doesn't. It's actually and it's when you commit a crime, or you actually it's innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know her story. We don't know her motivation or whatever behind this. Don't forget, she could be working with somebody else like Nick Fury to do this, to set something up for somebody to get captured.
Mhm.
But, you know, it was making me think, okay, there might be a 50-50 chance that she could be, but then I'm like, I'm still leaning on the other end of the whole entire thing where I'm thinking that she's playing both sides to where she's setting someone up to get caught.
Mhm.
And
so,
then
yeah.
also too, don't forget, this is the art gallery, right?
Mhm.
Somebody who bought that painting is actually fucking rich, right?
Right.
So, which means that whoever the power broker is, she's setting him up to buy that painting. Because that's my theory. And this is me speculating. Who in the Marvel Universe loves art?
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Said it. I said it's Wilson Fisk.
I'm thinking
that's his apartment. That's his that's his area. Like it's all that like Tamara just said. All the clothing there is men's.
Mm-hmm.
Men clothing. Right. Who likes art? Wilson Fisk. Like I don't like I said. I mean, I think all the signs everybody's speculating that she's the power broker. It's misconception. It's the eyes, the ears hear, the mind believes. Everybody's pointing at her, but she's trying to. I think in a sense she has her motives to get revenge on the GRU because they stripped her of her status.
Right.
It wasn't Falcon. It wasn't Bucky. And obviously she's kind of helping out Carly a little bit in a sense. Like why would she? And I think she's the one that texted Carly the location of like not the location, the details. Like hey, the professor, like the professor died, and I think it's either or it's either Wilson Fisk or Batrock, or the two of them are working together because Batrock is back and he's the one that had control of the serum in the very first episode.
You see, I'm leaning more towards Fisk with this one.
Yeah,
to
I'm leaning towards Fisk. Yeah, it makes sense.
Because think of it like this: Zemo's stuff is actually done with. His story wrapped up.
He's in the raft.
Right. So therefore, Zemo's no more, as far as I'm concerned. So now we need to go ahead and see who the power broker is. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest with you. I would piss my pants if it was Fisk. I would actually geek out if it was Fisk.
I mean,
because then this would be an awesome way to incorporate the Marvel universe from the Netflix side and move it over to this side.
Yeah.
I mean,
and everything.
Technically, Marvel's got the rights to Daredevil now. And there's been speculation that Matt Murdock is going to be showing up in the new Spider-Man movie, which, oh yeah, that's right, it comes out in December.
Right.
I think, and it's like, again, we're setting up, like, kind of like, we're getting some aspects of what happened with WandaVision about how these people were able to be interacting in this universe. Because we don't know when we know this takes place after Endgame, but before Spider-Man, like that. So we don't know where in the timeline this takes place, but obviously if it's after Endgame, it's the blip. So obviously that. So I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, I think it's Wilson Fisk. I mean, I think because somebody had that theory out there. I'm like, yeah, I can see it. Who likes art? Who has men's clothing? And that area is for criminals like to be at. And that's the perfect area.
Yeah, and I think it's going to add a whole nother flavor onto the MCU. When you add the Netflix, the grittier, like the Punisher and Jessica Jones and all those people, if you throw them in the mix, it's going to get real gritty.
Yeah. And we already seen the grittiness of what they can do without showing us the gore aspect of it. And to me, if they do it on that level, I'm fine with. It's just that some parts of me wishes that they could do a Marvel Knights universe and have a Marvel Knights studio still, where we have all our gritty, rated R characters set up into that one universe, where we can have our basically where we can actually have our Punisher, our Ghost Rider, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and of course John Bernthal's the Punisher all into one thing. Yeah. And just have that based off of Marvel Knights. You can have it called Marvel Knights Studios and have it that way. But if they're going to go this way, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the way they're doing it because of the fact that you can. Because, like I said before, last last week's episode, I felt like, ooh, that I actually felt it whenever he was actually going like this and stabbing.
Yeah.
Him hitting with the shield.
He's channeling his inner Wilson Fisk. I mean, Wilson Fisk decapitated a guy with a car door. This guy did it.
But see, I don't think John Walker is as maniacal and diabolical as Wilson.
But
no,
I want to go back to something though.
Sure.
Okay, you know how that one woman who was saying, well, you know, that's some kind of gray area that you're in. I can actually help you out of that gray area to where you can actually have that level of aggression come out. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just paraphrasing. I'm not going for verbatim or anything like that. But here's the thing. I think she's working with Fisk.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the fact that she knew.
Wait a minute, because there's a possibility. Because I think in the comics, U.S. agent is one of Power Broker's people, right?
Oh,
so it's a possibility that she is working for. Good idea.
Okay.
Known as many names, like Val or whatever. I think she was known as Madame Hydra in the comics, or she's forming her own Thunderbolts or whatever.
What was the woman's name though?
Val.
It's Val, and it's
when it counts as something another.
Yeah, it's a very long name.
Yeah.
Valentina Allegro de Fontaine.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely fits Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So like I said, she might be forming her own. Maybe she could be the other version of a villainous Nick Fury. The Thunderbolts, which is another villain team, or a sense in the MCU or whatever. So there's speculation that she was known as maybe Madame Hydra. So there's a lot of speculation about who she is, but she was supposed to appear in Black Widow first, the movie. That was going to be her first big appearance as Black Widow. And then since Black Widow came out, so because she's got that Russian in her, like that stuff, so we might see her maybe a brief origin with Black Widow. So she might be in the training program. So we don't know the full aspect of her, but they said she is a huge part of the MCU going forward. So
if she is working for Wilson Fisk, and if he's the power broker, then that changes the whole dynamic of what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much more to the pie than meets the eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're having all these other pieces that we're seeing from the very beginning, and now we're seeing those pieces being put together now.
Yes.
And, we're seeing one end of the spectrum where you have these super soldiers, and who better to actually get the serum that has money than Wilson Fisk
mm-hmm.
and everything. And he's the kingpin for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who likes to move things around and makes things fit.
Connections. And he's got connections.
Right.
So yeah, it was. Was there anything else you want to mention about the episode, John? Just to get caught up before we focus on the last big first post-credit scene of the show.
To be honest with you, here's the thing. I didn't see the post-credit scene or anything like that, but you guys can talk about it too, and I'll get geeked out like that, and I'll give my speculation on it.
All right.
Well, I can tell you.
We'll go into is there anything else you want to discuss, John, from the episode? Go ahead.
To be honest, there was some things that I really have to say that I liked. I liked how they wrapped up Zemo and the punishment that Zemo has to go through now with the Wakandas. I definitely like that aspect. It's not like, okay, we're going to kill you. No, you are going to be our bitch, is basically what you do. And you're going to end up being on this raft for the rest of your life. So I like that. I liked how they set that up. Because there's different ways of killing somebody. You can kill them spiritually, or you can kill them physically. Spiritually is worse than physically to me, based on what that person's weakness is. But I definitely like that. Another thing too that I can say that I loved was the stunt work with the very beginning of the movie. Not the movie, but of the TV show. It does feel like a movie though.
Yeah.
But another thing though too, I loved how Bucky and Sam were both tossing the shield around, trying to get used to the shield, and now Sam is trying to work his way into not being scared of the shield, because you can actually tell that Sam is scared of it, not on a mental aspect anymore, but it's on a physical aspect now because of how fast the shield actually moves. So now he has to come to terms with trying to train himself and retrain himself on that level and everything too. And I also liked how Bucky comes in and helps out with the whole entire the boat and stuff that, and people coming together. And you know what? That goes to show you that there's some healing in Bucky and everything. Because remember, when Sam said, "Oh, there's some more things inside that book that needs to be drawn out and everything," to where, you know, how he's supposed to go around apologizing for different things that he's done. He goes, "There's other ways to actually go ahead and heal somebody than to just apologize. You have to unite people." So that part where they're being united and everything, I loved it. And then also too, the backstory that we wanted to get from the other super soldier that we were talking about in several episodes back, we got without having to go into a flashback or anything like that. They explained it. We know who he is now. We know why he doesn't want to team up. We know why he doesn't like the army or anything like that, especially with the scars that he has. I loved it. I really love that scene. It grabbed me on an emotional aspect and everything too.
Yeah.
So it makes, even though he was only introduced maybe into a couple of scenes, the emotional aspect is there to make us care about him. So that's what I really liked about it. But yeah, that's just some of my other stuff that I liked. But tell me what you guys think about the post-credit scene.
Yeah, that was took 5 episodes and we finally got a post-credit scene. And I was like, I kind of called that from the last one. I was like, watch the second to last episode, we're gonna start getting the post-credit scenes. And like, you tease. I'm like, you're just like, it's like, oh, you're up, here it is. Here it's like, it's the guy from the Geico commercial. Oh, you almost had it. You almost had $1. Like that's what they did with the. So essentially, it goes back to whiny little wuss. That got stripped of all his deals. He's going. He's creating a shield. He's creating a new shield. It's definitely not vibranium. It doesn't look vibranium. It looks like he stole something. And then he's painting it. He put his metal pin or whatever into the center of it. He's spraying it red, all flashy red. Like he's still like, oh, I'm Captain America. I don't care what anybody says. I'm like, and then so him with the serum with that kind of a shield. It's like we know it's not going to be as powerful as the normal one. But if he did have, if it is vibranium, like how the hell did he get vibranium?
Like that's vibranium. Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably steel.
But I don't think. I think it's a steal. I think he stole something that was very like the Star Spangled Man. So and his colors are all really bright, which is not comics. It isn't that bright. But then again, comics you can't be super bright in a comic book. So I think it's still in line with him creating his own shield. You know he's going to be wearing his Captain America gear, and he still has that. I mean, you know he's going to be wearing that, trotting down the street. I'm like, yeah, I'm a big man. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still Captain America, even though I'm not.
But no, I mean, so that's the post-credit scene, him creating the shield. And that was it. So that's like, okay, we're finally getting the character. And so like it's like, okay, so it's sort of going along the lines of the comic book. He's going to be the U.S. agent, not government, but agent. That's going to be that. And then we're going to get Torres. That's the army buddy of Falcon. He's gonna be Falcon too. Because he's got Sam's old gear. Because Sam's gonna get new gear, so he's gonna be the Taurus is gonna be his other buddy. So like I said, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Before we end here, I want to get, since we're one episode out, I want to get everybody here to give out at least 2 predictions how we think this show's gonna end, like that we want to see happen. Because we're almost the episode. We want it like we can start. Let's make like 2 or 3 predictions. So John, go ahead. We're gonna start with you.
Number 1, the reveal of Fisk is probably gonna happen at the very end. Number 2, we're gonna find out that he might be the power broker, of course, but also, too, we're going to find out how this world is going to connect to some of the other MCU stuff and everything. So I was thinking about this while I was at Walmart because I don't have anything else to do besides watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier and calling somebody a mother effer, and people just looking at me. I'm like, no, this mother effer right here on the. But
Walmart, you got to watch yourself,
right? But I saw it like like that. But anyways, though, I mean, seriously, I'm seriously thinking that this is going to go more of, since we're dealing with politics, I'm thinking that Bucky and Sam would actually fit better with Hawkeye's world than anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if Hawkeye and Sam go transition to Hawkeye's world in the TV series. That would actually make more sense to me. But I'm seriously thinking Fisk is actually the one that's doing all this. Of course, we're going to wind up seeing Party City Captain America, who made his own shield out of clay. Try and fight and everything else. But I'm still saying that there's going to be some type of unity between the super soldiers. I'm thinking the super soldiers are going to finish him off. Because think of it like this. Sam can't touch him because it makes him look bad because he represents America.
Mm-hmm.
It's a European, think of it like this. It's a European situation, right? It's overseas situation. So it has to be handled overseas. It has to be some type of thing where the people overseas have to overthrow him. So therefore, I can see Sam and them beating the hell out of him and then letting the people take over, doing whatever they have to do. Since it's happened in Europe. Now, if it happened in the States and everything, it's going to be totally different with that. Then it's going to go into the United States aspect, dealing with some of the other stuff with the power broker and stuff like that. That's just how I'm thinking. I could be wrong. It's not going to be the first time I'm wrong because none of my predictions actually happened on WandaVision. So, so anyways, what about you guys?
All right, Ashley, what do you think is what are your predictions for what we're gonna let's put on the final episode of the show, this season, hopefully.
Oh wow. I think Fisk, I agree with John. I think Fisk is gonna be the power broker and he's going to show up. And I think the fight that's getting ready to go on in New York is gonna be awesome. Like I was telling Charlie, I'm like, I think this is gonna be the Hulk, and they're gonna break New York on this one. Not Avenger style, but they're gonna break it. So I think that's gonna be good. And also, I always have my eye on Bucky. It's always something interesting going on with this guy. So, I don't know whether it's like John said, transitioning into Hawkeye but Bucky and Falcon pretty much are gonna be joined at the hip. And but I think when they wrap this up, they are going to introduce other parts of Marvel. I'm just on the edge of my seat trying to figure out what it's gonna be.
Tamara, what about you? What are some predictions for the next episode?
I think, like everybody's saying, that the power broker is going to come. You might see who he is. Hold on a second. Okay. Anyways, I think that the power broker will be showing his face. Bucky might become the White Wolf because he got his nickname back. And the fighting scene is going to be awesome.
So a few I have, again, I think like we kind of agree with Wilson Fisk. I think he's going to be the power. I still think he's the power broker. It's definitely not Carter. I think there's going to be 2 post-credit scenes because that seems to be what they're going to do. One of them is going to be involving the Skrulls. Like one of them's going to be the Skrulls, and I think I don't think this in another post-credit scene about something else. I think Steve's showing up in this episode. The next episode, we're going to get Steve Rogers. I think he's going to show up. He could be the post-credit scene. He could be the Skrull. Like somebody's like, yo, or he may not appear, but he might be mentioned in the sense of, a friend of mine up on space knows you too well, very well. And I'm like, so, and then he's like, he would like to speak with you or something of that nature. I don't know. They're going to be, I think there's definitely going to be Skrull involvement in this one at least, because that seems to be the theme from this, from Spider-Man, Skrulls, WandaVision, Skrulls. This one, there's gotta be some Skrulls involvement in this. What other ones? Again, I think it's gonna be a big fight. Yeah,
I'm also thinking that we might get a big fight in Hell's Kitchen. Maybe we might see. Maybe a Daredevil might be coming in. Maybe.
Or you can say that for Spider-Man, him showing up as the lawyer.
To be honest with you, I could see him showing up as the lawyer. But what if Daredevil did make an appearance? What if this actually takes place within Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah,
I mean, it's in New York, so I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Fisk definitely revealing herself as the power broker. Sharon revealing her true identities, what's really going on with her. Like Sharon could be a Skrull again. Skrulls. And again, the good Skrulls are working with Fury, so we're getting into Secret Invasion here.
Mixed in with some new Avengers though too.
Yeah. So. Like we'll probably find out more from Val, what her true intentions are, and like to see how further, like what she's gonna do. Yeah, I think that's all I can think of. I've said a lot of stuff in these past few episodes, like just the predictions.
I think Val is going to show up towards the end after John Walker gets his butt beat. I think she's going to show up and drag him to the gutter somewhere.
Yeah,
make him something.
So, is there anything else you guys want to mention about this episode? I mean, we mentioned a lot, so there's a lot to take in with this episode because it's so much. But is there anything else you guys would like to add?
No, I don't have anything.
It should have been 10. It should have been 10 episodes of this. This is too much.
Yeah. WandaVision should have been like they should have done the opposite. WandaVision should have been 6. This should have been 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't hate on WandaVision.
I'm not. I was thinking, like I said, there's a lot of filler, and it's just like I was kind of like, all right, I kind of want to get into like how is this going to relate to the next thing. That's what the next thing. How is this going to build the story, in a sense? So thanks everybody for joining me today. So John, where can everybody reach you at?
Okay, so everybody can reach us at because it's not all about me. I'm not the diva or anything like that. So you can reach Charlie and I on Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite on Facebook. Of course, you can reach us on Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite on Instagram as well as on Pinterest. You can also get an audio only podcast episode of this where you guys get your podcast from. Of course, you can go on ahead and email us at movieloversunite@gmail.com. If you want to donate to the page, how do you do that? You just go on ahead, click on the link below by going to www.gofundme.com/movielovers podcast. Of course, you guys can go on ahead and go for all your entertainment needs and wants by going to www.movieloversunite.com. And then, of course, go ahead and follow me on Stereo at Movie Lovers Unit, of course, and then of course underneath the same name on Twitter as well at Movie Lovers Unit. I post things there all the time and things like that. I'm becoming a lot more active with Twitter, so go ahead and follow me over there. And those are all the places that you can actually reach us out and reach me on and everything. So, without further ado, it's been real, guys. It's been fun. Can't wait to do this again. And thank you, guys. Thank you again, Charlie. Thank you, Ladash and Tamara, for taking over for me while I was gone and handling some stuff. I do appreciate that.
Anytime.
Anytime.
I really do. You guys did an awesome job of holding down the fort while I was busy yelling at people at Walmart and while I was or what I like to call Hellmart. So anyways, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. I can't wait to do this again, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.